Okay, welcome to this video. Yes, I do happen to have three different camera angles, and today we are going to be comparing only two, unfortunately, but two amazing headphones that we have. One reviewed in the past, the EKSA E900 Pros, as well as today, the Fifine Ampligame H6. Now, as you can see, I got them both here. They both got their RGB lighting on. We got Fred over here who's like, I don't know which one to pick. Shut up, Fred, you're stupid. Hey man, you're stupid. Anyway, yes, we're gonna be comparing the two of these guys today. We're gonna see which one's better. For the most part, we're gonna focus on the H6 just because you can check out the video card in the top right-hand corner to see if you wanna know more about the EKSA. But we'll do like a mic and sound test comparison because this is one of my favorite headsets. So with that being said, let's get into the comparison and review of the Fifine Ampligame H6. Starting off with the Ampligame H6, one weird thing is that they have on the box a black pair of headphones and a white pair is what we bought, so that's kind of interesting, but otherwise the unboxing experience is very nice, clean, and inside the box you got this pair of headphones. Whether you got the white or the black, it'll come the same with the pair of headphones, the nice long braided cable with this long cable that is very nice, plugs in as USB type A, just standard USB, and then you have your module that has your volume adjustment, 7.1 surround sound, mic, mute, and EQ modes, which we will go over all that in a second here. Along with that, you have your microphone, which is detachable, as you can see, plugs in, you just slide it in through here, works out great. And the cool thing I like about these guys is they have full RGB side lighting. I don't think that's adjustable, but just generally speaking, this cool ring that you get of light around it looks pretty good. If I put the headphones on here, we'll do a mic test here soon. It looks pretty good. I honestly don't know how it looks, but I feel like they fit decently well. They have adjustable side earpieces, as you can see. They have notches, just like the EKSA headphones do actually. For the most part, I feel like the build quality of these is pretty good, similarly to the EKSA. If we take our first look at the E900 Pro here, they have the same sort of flexibility. Actually, I would say the E900 Pros almost have a little bit more. Now, one thing I like about these guys is they have these curly cables. Honestly, the E900 Pro is very aesthetic. And one thing we're actually going to get into here is the comfort difference. The thing I would have to say about the Ampligame H6 is that, honestly, the ear cups, if you look inside of here, they're not too big. When you put them on, you actually feel your ears hitting the sides of the drivers inside the headphones. They're not very big, but comparing that to the E900 Pros, there's way more room inside of these. These are honestly one of the most comfortable pair of headphones I've found at this price range, so I definitely give that to the E900 Pro if you're interested. Check out the other video if you want to know more, but as far as specific details on the H6 goes, it has, you know, a nice synthetic cushioning on the top of the band as well as the side of the cups. Just can't beat that of the E900 Pro, unfortunately. They both happen to have detachable mics like I mentioned, but the cool thing about the H6 from Fifine is that it has this button right here, this mute button, as you can see on the side. This mute button that comes with the cable, and whenever you mute the mic, this turns red on the mic. So people around you, I guess, know when you're muted. If you're talking to someone, say your mom comes in, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta mute. Now she knows I'm muted. But as far as the light goes, it's not super useful if you're wearing the headphones because you don't actually know if you're muted or not. But you have the switch to confirm that, so it's not a huge problem. Now, the one nice thing about the H6 also is that it comes with 7.1 surround sound. This is a bonus feature as far as audio goes. The E900 Pro does happen to have 7.1 surround sound, so maybe they're about the same on that level, but the cool thing that the H6 has is this 7.1 surround sound button where you turn it on and off, and the button will light up when it's on. So you can control that. And another cool thing that you can control with the H6 is you can actually have different EQ modes. Now what these EQ modes does is they allow you to basically listen to all sorts of different types of audio, whether that's games, movies, or music. You have those three different options. As you can see here, there's an EQ button. I don't know if you can quite read that, but you have three different lights. Right now it's on the top mode, and on the back there's little sort of descriptions which might be hard to see. But this is movie mode. Whenever the light goes to the bottom, that's music mode. In the middle, that's gaming mode. And it just cycles between the three lights whenever you need to. And we'll test out how those sound, and I'll be giving you my live reactions of how those two sound. Unfortunately, you can't exactly tell what I'm listening to, but I'll try to roughly give you my live reaction. As far as the rest of the controls go in the H6, you have an up and down volume master. As you can see on my computer right here, actually. Here, As you can see on my computer here, actually, there is like a volume control on here. So as I increase the volume, it goes all the way up, and I decrease the volume, it goes all the way down, which is very cool. As far as other features go, that's basically it. On the little control panel, you have the surround sound, the volume control, the microphone mute switch, and the EQ, which is honestly a lot for a headset at this price range. And we'll be getting into the price reveal at the end of the video so that you know what your favorite is. You can pick before then between the E900 Pro and the Fifines. As far as design goes overall, you can pick which one you prefer. I think personally though, the comfortability of the EKSA E900 Pro definitely wins for me, but the Fifine has a very clean look, and with some of the extra features like the EQ and the mute button on the mic, that's very nice. One thing you do notice is the E900 Pro has little things like this free stand that it comes with, which is always very nice. One thing that the E900 Pro does have that the H6 does not have is a USB port. This guy, the H6 just has a non-detachable cable, unfortunately, whereas with the E900 Pro, so I'm getting all the names mixed up, you can detach the cable, you can plug in a USB Type-C, or you can just do a standard headphone jack. So that's very nice, and it also has a built-in mute and volume knob on the headset. So if you're looking for convenience, I would definitely say the E900 Pro has that, but if you want extra itty-bitty features, that's where you could get the H6. So Fred is still a little bit concerned about which one he should pick. Should I get the E900 Pro or the Fifine Ampligame H6? The names are terrible, but regardless, he's thinking, okay, this guy definitely has convenience form factor. It's got a couple extra things that are nice to have, like a headset stand. But with the H6, you get extra tiny features like, you know, EQ that not everyone might need. But if you're an enthusiast of those features, that might be nice if you sacrifice, you know, comfort and you can't detach the cable. But let's continue on with a little bit of a sound and microphone test to kind of seal in the deal. Then we'll do a price reveal, and then you get to pick what you want. Everything will be linked in the description, so let's go. And if you want other details as far as stuff I didn't mention, that will all be listed in the description, or you can just check on the links in the video. Alright, so up first we have the Ampligame H6 from Fifine, as I'm wearing it currently. We will do a mic test in a second here, but for now we're going to start with the audio test. I'm going to listen to each headset first, and let's see how it sounds. I'll link the video that I'm using to test it below this video. I kind of forgot I had this camera angle, by the way. You're there. Cool. Anyway, let's see how this sounds. See, I feel like the one thing that messes up when you get 7.1 surround sound is left and right aren't differentiated as well. That's sacrifice for the 360 effects. I'm gonna go over that again actually, without the 7.1 surround sound, so now you'll see I'm turning it off. I think the left and right will be better directionally, but you know, then the other directions won't be as good. But one thing I'm noticing is I have this volume on like 10% for the H6, and it's already super loud, so yeah, I don't even want to turn it up. So I'm trying on and off with the 7.1 surround sound right now. Definitely sounds interesting. Definitely sounds a little better with 7.1 surround sound. It's just like some of the directions kind of get blurred together. That's why I was saying like left and right kind of get mixed a tiny bit. Yeah, but as with this plane that was just going overhead in the video, it sounded like way better without the 7.1 surround sound when it went from right to left. But if you went 360, 7.1 surround sound sounds better, but it's all just digital, you know, modification. So the problem is whenever it's just straight up right to left, it doesn't sound as good because it's trying to replicate other directions at the same time. So you hear it in your left ear even though it's supposed to be on the right more. Anyway, I think overall that was a good test. I haven't really listened to it with music, so let's try that. And then as I listen to the music, I'm also going to try out the different EQ modes between movie, gaming, and music, just to see how it affects the mids, the highs, and the lows. Usually, music is the best way for me to be able to tell how the EQ sounds though. So I'm not going to test it on gaming and all that, but this should be a good enough test. Feels a little more clear. Let's try gaming. It sounds more bassy. Ooh, sounds cinematic with the movie mode on. You can definitely feel those highs more. The EQ definitely sounds more bassy with the gaming mode. You can feel the highs more on movie mode. Music mode sounds super balanced, I guess you could say. I don't really feel the highs or the lows too much, so maybe they were focusing on the mids, like the people that are singing in the song. It's a really cool music video though. Whenever you're changing the 7.1 surround sound on or off, you'll notice that the directionalness of the 7.1 surround sound is pretty nice as far as 360 goes, but when you turn it off, it sounds way better left to right speaking, because whenever you have 7.1 surround sound on, it kind of blurs the directions a little bit to get that 360 sound effect. So if you just want left and right directionality, turn it off, but you have the option, which is nice. And we'll do a mic test after we test out the E900 Pro, my bad. All right, now we have the E900 Pro on. I'm gonna listen to it. I have the cable that works with 7.1 surround sound. So let's just see how this baby sounds. I've actually not used it in a while, so we will see if it sounds good. Let's get to it. Okay, so what I determined from the E900 Pro, just quickly based off my assessment of the same song, it didn't really take me as long to realize because there's less modes to test out on the E900 Pro, but basically that by default, it has a very interesting balance. I think this is more geared towards the music mode that the H6 has. Basically what I found is that the bass on here is not super high, the highs aren't super high, but mostly the mids are what you get out of it, so it's kind of like music mode on the H6, but I did get some highs, so I feel like that would be good to hear things like people talking, or gunshots flying by in a video game or in a movie, or special effects. The only thing it doesn't pack too hard on is the bass. You definitely still hear it, of course, which I think is actually not a bad thing, because headphones try to overhit on the bass too much anyway. So it's actually pretty well balanced, especially considering that you can't change that, unlike with the Ampligame. So that's good to know though. Overall, I think they're both great headphones. You can have more options here, but the E900 Pro is never a bad choice. So with that being said, let's get into the mic test comparison between these two wonderful headsets, and let's go. Alright, so here is what the microphone on the E900 Pro sounds like. This is the EKSA headset, not the main one that we're reviewing for this video, but this should set a good groundwork for how the microphone sounds. As you can see, it's like a couple inches away from my face. Now here's maybe a little bit further. As far as the mic goes, it's not bad. Here, let me mute myself just so you can see that it works. Now you should be able to hear me again. One thing nice about these headphones is that they do have a wind mic cover here, so that, if you breathe into it too much, that might help with some, external wind. But otherwise, this is how it sounds. Alright, so here is how the Fifine headset sounds. One issue I just had actually when testing out to make sure it was recording is I couldn't tell if the mute light was on or not. I had to hold up my hand here to make sure I saw that it was red or not. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. They both of the microphones though, you can listen to hear the difference. I'm just going to explain that they both have like these gooseneck type sort of mics that are bendable as well as removable. That's me moving the mic around too, so you can hear that. Now I'm going to put it like a couple inches further away from my face. This is what it sounds like. I'm also going to mute the mic now so you can see that it works. So that's basically how that sounds. You should be able to hear me again. There is no wind, so I'm going to try breathing into the mic. There's no wind cover, but yeah, that's how it sounds. Okay, so from my testing, this is very interesting between the two headphones. I feel like they both sound really good, actually. At this price range, both of these headphones have really good microphones. Now, I'm just about to reveal it here in a second, so pick your winner, but these both have amazing microphones in my opinion. The H6 happens to have a little bit louder of a mic in my opinion. I had to boost it a little bit to hear it more personally, but when you listen to both of them up close, they sound really good. The only issue with the E900 Pro is maybe you have to put the mic a little closer to your face so that people can hear you better, but with that wind cover, it's not really much of a problem. So I feel like the mic game is almost a tie, maybe give a slight upper hand to the H6. Now, Fred has finally made his decision. Fred is you, by the way, if you didn't get the metaphor as a viewer. You pick, but we're going to be doing the final price reveal in 3, 2, 1. Ampligame H6 from Fifine costs $42 or around that price, and on Amazon the EKSA E900 Pro costs $50. There is basically an $8 price difference. I'm sure the market will fluctuate a little bit, but since the EKSA E900 Pro has definitely been around a little longer, it's known and it's probably going to cost you a little more. So with that being said, the Ampligame is going to save you $8. Is the $8 worth it for you know, the differing features, it really depends on what you want. I feel like it wins in some departments and loses in others. Some practicality bits, like comfort, it's not as great because the ear cups are a little smaller. You could still live with it. It doesn't have a detachable cable, but it does have a nice mic mute light. It has different adjustable EQ. You can turn off 7.1 surround sound. I feel like the mic works a little better overall than the E900 Pro, but the E900 Pro is also trusted, well done. Again, check out that video if you want to know more about it. But I feel like personally, if I were to pick a well-rounded one and I had the money to, I would probably pick the E900 Pro still. If you're willing to save, or if you need to save $8 though, H6 is a great choice too, because you're not losing out on too much, and if you don't care about certain things like a detachable cable or, you know, perfect comfort, because the E900 Pro is just too perfect in my opinion, then go with the H6 of course. But I feel like my winner is definitely from EKSA still. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video with the 3 different angles. This is kind of a little foreshadowing to a new channel that I'll be working on. This is probably gonna be one of the last videos I'll be working on in techtrovert for a long time, unfortunately, but it's definitely been real. I've learned a lot from this channel, and stay tuned because we're gonna be starting a sort of podcast style new channel, literally under my name, Ethan Gegg. So if you wanna start checking that on socials, go ahead, be my guest. But in the next video, I will make sure to give you guys links to all that if you are interested. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Click on whatever's on the screen if you still wanna watch more. Otherwise, stay tuned. Till next time, love you, peace.